Good afternoon, this is Jeff with Sewer Tech Northwest. Today we're at property address 2814, 15th place here in Forest Grove. We just advanced the camera out to the main here and just shut the water off. We just located everything. Line terminates out on 15th. We're checking the overall condition and serviceability of the line. We're going to start pulling back here. The app on my tablet just died a moment ago. As long as the other video link got saved here, I'll have the advance out as well sent over to you. Either way, you're seeing the line after we just ran water through it and drained it out. Just went and marked here at about 41, 42 feet. We do have a tie-in that comes in. If you're standing in the road looking at the front of the house, the line right now is oriented right over by where the neighbor's driveway is to the right of this home, just a few feet off from it. The direction this comes in, and as far as it is from the house, that could feasibly be a party line. There is also a little bit of debris. You can see some paper product just barely coming out of that, which could feasibly be from this line jumping up into it, but just the location and everything, that would appear to be a party line. So that's something I would check into to see if the city has any problem with that. You've also got another Y connection right here. At least it appears to be. And that does look like a Y coming in there as far as I can tell. So I'll mark this one as well. This one, I mean, one of these could be a storm system connection. It's very possible. The one that's out at 41, 42 feet, that one, the way it's lined up, looks more like a party line. All right, I just put another Y marking down on the ground here. Both of them are just a few feet away from each other. I would contact the city to see if there's any issues there with a non-conforming party line or something of that nature. Outside Portland and Multnomah County, a lot of cities aren't terribly stringent on those, but it's worth looking into. Now this joint right here, and this is not affecting functionality, but at 31 feet I can visibly see some dirt squeezing through that joint there. It's not affecting flow, but the line is technically speaking open to the ground there, so I do recommend that be corrected. Again, this is not affecting functionality, so at this point in time it would be more of a preventative measure to keep. What can happen over time is it can lead to hydro erosion, which hasn't occurred here. The line would be settled if that were the case. So if repairs aren't done, I would just keep an eye on it, rescope periodically. The joint there is getting a little cracked and beat up, so it's something that will progress over time. And I just put an X marking down there. We're about 2 foot 10 inches deep under grass and dirt there if you so choose to do a repair on that. Those dark spots there are that's just debris the camera scraped loose. When you run past them quick, it almost looks like there's a hole there, but that's just some sludge the camera scraped off the pipe. the cast iron here, it looks like I'm seeing a groove going down the middle of it. It appears to be channeling. This is where the metal gets eaten away slowly but surely over time. We've also got a reasonable amount of buildup from this point through probably the first 20, 30 feet, up until about the Y connection. You've got some sludge buildup in the line. I'd recommend it be cleaned at least. And it's hard to tell right now with the buildup in there. I think you probably have some standing water. You may also have channeling. That's where the metal, the cast iron, becomes eaten away over time, which will allow standing water to collect there. But there does appear to be a trough or channel that's forming, but you won't get a proper view of it until you clean the line. Sometimes you can get a similar effect when you just simply get buildup and in the little skinny area, the flow line stays clean and clear. It can kind of create the same visual that's occurring and not actually be channeling. So that's a spot there. I'd recommend cleaning it and rescoping it to see if there's anything left over as far as channeling goes. You're going to have standing water there no matter what, but it's hard to tell. A little bit of standing water I'm not terribly concerned about, but if it's channeling, you've got a groove forming, you've got standing water, and then a kind of a sharp edge down at the base of the pipe there that can snag debris. You can see how much sludge is collected in that area. So I'd start with cleaning and see how much standing water is left over. There's only, you know, a quarter inch or so, that's not terribly concerning, but if you've got an inch or so, especially along with channeling, that's something I would recommend doing repairs on. And as it sits right now, the line is functioning, draining slower than it should due to the buildup there, especially at the start. So I'd start with the cleaning process and then go from there with a rescope. Aside from that, we have the compromised joint at 31 feet, which I recommend repairing. Beyond that point, though, the rest of the concrete pipe, other than the Y connections, which are somewhat of an unknown, is in reasonable condition for its age and functioning.